Hey guys, I've been asked by one of our members to explain why it is that in my videos I don't use the name of Christopher Watt's wife. Well, I want to go ahead and explain it because it's a question that gets asked quite often. Back in the early months, I think it was like the middle of September, maybe it was in the beginning of October, I realized in one of the videos that Christopher Watt's wife was being referred to by a different name. And I said so. I said, hey, did you hear that? They're calling her a different name. And the abusers online who have been attacking us since early September jumped all over it. They called me a liar. They said that that video did not sound to them like anybody was calling her a different name. They said I was making things up. And then they said her new name over and over again, saying everybody knows that's her name. That was one of those little hints that there was something more to the story than the false narrative we were being told. And sure enough, a few days later, the abusers admitted that actually she did go by two different names. Interesting, isn't it? Isn't it interesting how they really tried so hard to keep that little tidbit from the conversation? So fast forward to when the Discovery docs were released, and then we learned that Christopher Watt's father actually said that he thought that his daughter-in-law might have had bipolar. And then it all seemed to kind of make sense. Take a look at these two photos on this video. Does that even look like the same person? I don't think so at all. I think one looks very depressed, and I think the other one looks rather manic. And I think that Christopher Watt's father hit it spot on, in his opinion. I don't think he was being malicious at all when he voiced his concern that his daughter-in-law may have had bipolar. I think he sounded concerned, probably very concerned for his granddaughters. In my opinion, I think that in all of those videos that we've watched, literally hundreds of them, I think that was the manic phase being presented to who knows how few people actually in her circle of online friends. I notice in her videos she has an extremely limited vocabulary, and that would make sense if you think about it, because that manic phase may only have known how to present itself in the role, if you will, that was being played at the time. I think the real or the core or the primary personality was of a depressed human being. Think about her schedule. Her husband was at work all day long, 5 days a week, while her children were in daycare all day long, 5 days a week. Think about it. What did she do with her time? How much time did she spend alone? Even her own neighbors didn't know her. There are no videos of her taking a walk or taking the kids to the park. Think. So the reason that I refer to Christopher Watt's wife as Christopher Watt's wife is, number one, she was Christopher Watt's wife, but also because I'm not sure which end of the spectrum, meaning which name, to use.